Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I am trying the Zoella ColourPop collab. I have two PR kits here. Where's the other one? Well, the other one's empty because I just used it, but here's mine and here's somebody else's. I am giving away this second PR kit. So if you want to be entered, just click the giveaway link down below and it'll take you to my website where all the directions are on how to enter. Also, before we get started, if you hear my dog Louie snoring, for those of you that are new, that's my dog Louie snoring. Sorry, but it happens in every video. And for those of you who have been around for ages, you guys know the drill. He will snore and there is no way to stop him. And he's so attached to me that I can't get away from him for 5 minutes. And so it is what it is. We just roll with it around here. But anyways, let's jump into the video. Okie dokie. So we are gonna start off using the palette and the eyeliners and liquid shadows. And then we'll move on to the lip products and highlight and all of that good stuff. I have already swatched this palette, so I will insert a clip of the swatches now.
Lightning strikes by my window, hits my chest right in the morning, like a warning. Could have slept here for days. I felt your heartbeat, felt your mouth breathe, but it's not real. We were close to see the sun, but clouds got in our way, and
So I'm going to start with Champagne Toast. Put that up there, it's the first one here. And you guys, I'm sure, just saw in the swatches, and this is something I'm not going to try to be nice about. These shadows, I don't feel like they were pressed as well as they should have been. They're extremely, extremely powdery. They like, the amount of, the second you touch your brush to the eyeshadow, to the pan, it just starts to crumble. So I feel like they're not pressed properly, especially the shimmers. And then for the mattes, I feel like they're pressed too hard. So the shimmers, I feel like, weren't pressed enough. And the mattes, I feel like, were pressed too tight. And that it is, you know, something that can happen, but I also feel like in quality control, they should have picked up on that. And it's just, I mean, it is what it is. I know that ColourPop is a cheaper brand, but there's no excuse for cutting corners, I feel like, because it doesn't cost more money to press the shadow properly. So you really want to make sure you go in with a really light hand, or else you're just going to make a mess of your palette. And I'm definitely one of those people that I do not like a dirty palette. And also you want to tap off your brush really, really well so that you don't get any fall down on your face, especially because, like, I've already done my foundation and everything. I also, by the way, already primed my eyes. So hopefully we don't have any problems. Okay, so now I'm going to, so I've done that on the inner corner, and then also I like to like feather it out. So I put it heavy towards the inner section of my eye and then feather it going out. And the reason I do that is I feel like it makes it easier to blend other shades. So now I'm going to take Pancake Please. Maybe not Pancake Please. Maybe I think I'll take Skinny Latte instead. So Skinny Latte is the one here, the heart. just put this through the middle, outer edge, and crease. This palette really confuses me because I know that there's like a lot of people saying, oh, copying Kim Kardashian's palette, copying Kylie Jenner's palette. When it comes to palettes, I mean, there's so many nowadays. I think that it's inevitable that we'll see things that look similar. But the thing that confuses me about this palette is the blue. And the reason why that confuses me is because there isn't a shadow in here that I would blend it with. So typically to do like a really, really dark, beautiful blue smoky eye, you would need a black to blend it out with. And then also I feel like you should have a, and you would want it to be matte, by the way, a matte black. But I also feel like you need, I'm getting tongue-tied. I also feel like you would need a lighter shade, so that if you wanted to take that dark blue and make it slightly lighter towards the inner corner, stuff like that. And so it kind of feels like, oh, I like blue shadow, let's throw that in. It just kind of feels like an afterthought, and nobody was like, okay, but yeah, when you're using this palette, how would you use the blue? And so far, I've only seen people just take the blue and just use that. They don't try to, like, I haven't seen people smoke it out with anything, because there isn't really, I mean, there's the browns, but I just feel like the browns just don't smoke out a blue the way a black will. And so I feel like the blue was kind of a, oh, this is neat, let's add this in. But other than that, not much more thought was put into it. You guys know I love me like a burgundy eye. It's pretty much my go-to look now. I used to be, it's so funny how we go through phases. So originally I was all about smoky eyes. That's all I'd wear is a black smoky eye. And then I switched to totally neutral. I just wanted like a really soft, light brown smoky eye. And then I switched to being a bit more dramatic, wearing silvers, and now I'm all about kind of a burgundy eye. I just love it. And I feel like with my skin tone, because I have red undertones, I feel like it fits. So it's been my go-to lately. I'm gonna grab a blending brush and I'm gonna pick up some of this Mimosa, which is this matte shade. Oh, it's this matte shade right here. And I mean, I'm not sure if you guys can see that, but I barely put my brush in and it like is all over the palette. So that's what I mean when I'm saying like really, you know, be careful. Oh, this is a little bit more orangey than I thought it was going to be. Yeah, I wonder, and see, because they don't show the behind the scenes, I feel like if I was going to create a palette with ColourPop, what I would do, there is way too much on there. What I would do is film the entire behind the scenes, and then when it launched, I would release the behind the scenes video showing like the actual picking the colors, testing out the different shades together, you know, that kind of thing. Because I feel like people, A, they're interested in that, and B, it would be a great way of explaining why you chose the shades that you chose. And I just feel like she really has missed the opportunity with so many of these collaborations that she does, on kind of explaining that, like saying like, this is why I chose this, and I tested this blue and this was the best blue, and the reason I didn't include a black is because, you know what I mean? I just feel like there's such an opportunity to do that. And like I said, people are interested in the behind the scenes stuff. They told her that last year when she started vlogging her meetings, and she was like, you know, I don't know if you guys are interested in this, and people are like, we are. It's so cool seeing the behind the scenes of product development. And personally, I'm really interested in it. I think it's really cool as well. And I just feel like maybe she just missed that opportunity. I mean, it could just be me. You guys might be like, no, we're not interested in that. But I know I am, because I would definitely like some explaining on some of the shades in this palette. Okay, let's see, what are we going to do now? I think I might overlay some more of that Skinny Latte, because I feel like that was a bit more orangey than I had anticipated. So I'm just going to like press it in. So let's go ahead and play with some of those liquid shadows. This palette, that's the other thing, it's very shimmery. Okay, so let's see, we have Bellini and OG. I feel like they're quite similar, but Bellini seems to be slightly more reddy toned, and OG is seeming to be slightly more silvery toned. So I'm gonna go with Bellini, and I'm actually not going to stick this on my eye. I'm going to take just like a little brush here and dab at the doe foot applicator. You can see plenty comes off. The reason I'm not going to stick it on my eye is because you get better control with a brush. Yeah, these are intense. I'm not sure if you guys can see how crazy intense that goes on, but dang. Let me grab another brush real quick. That's not the brush I'm looking for. This one, slightly stiffer, and oh, I feel like it's hard to get it to move. It's kind of like where you've placed it is where it's going to end up. Yep, that's pretty much it. Where you place it is where it's going to end up. Okay, so knowing that, that's kind of annoying. I'm gonna grab just a blending brush and see if I can blend it out. Oh my gosh, it creases so badly. Holy hell. That's like... And you know what's funny? If you look at my eyes, like typically my eyes are like really crepey. It's something like everyone in my family has it. It's genetic, nothing I can do about it. I use like the best eye creams possible. But looking at my right eye compared to my left, you can see where like the natural creases are in my eye. But I don't have any like towards the very tip where my lash line is. And yet this is like crazy, crazy, crazy creased at my lash line on my right eye. It's so weird. And it's like, yeah, I mean, let me see if you guys can see that, like what I'm talking about here. That is definitely not what I was expecting with this. Now I'm just gonna use the doe foot applicator, since I know that it's just kind of going to go wherever you put it and just stay there, hopefully. Shoot. I don't tend to watch reviews of products that I'm going to review until after I have filmed mine, because I feel like it can make you biased, and I don't like that. I think if you're gonna do a review, do it off of your own opinion, not other people's, because everyone's opinion is actually going to be slightly different, whether something's a good product or not. But I really don't like those liquid shadows, and I wish I would have watched a review because I would have known not to use them. Okay, so that's done. I'm gonna use the highlighter. Now, small problem. So ColourPop, I feel like they were overwhelmed with this collab, which makes sense. Zoe is a very popular person. And with my package, I ordered 2 of the PR kits, one for me and one for the giveaway. And then in the PR kit, it's supposed to come with a blush and a highlighter. When my package came, it just had 1 PR kit, even though the package said it contained 2. I emailed them and they said that they were running behind, and so I wouldn't be able to get my other PR kit for 5 to 7 days, which is what happened. It was a full week before I received my other PR kit. During that week, I found out in my package there was 2 highlights and 1 blush. I asked them, when you send out the other PR package, can you please send 2 blushes instead of 1? Because I can take 1 highlight from one and put it in the other, and take 1 blush from the other and put it in mine. And they were like, no. They were like, if you're missing a blush, then we can send that to you after you send the highlight back. So I'm like, okay, can you send me a label? Because I feel like I shouldn't have to pay for shipping. They're the one that messed up. And they haven't gotten back to me. That was like 4 days ago. They haven't replied. So I have no blush to try, because I'm not gonna take the one out of the PR kit that I'm giving away, because that would just be weird to be like, I stole a package out of your thing. So I have 2 of the what color are these? Swipe Right highlighters. So I'm just gonna try that. This highlighter also powders like crazy, and I mean, I will say everything powders like crazy, but you do get enough product coming off. I don't know if that's showing up. I'm slightly confused. Okay. I see what's happening here. So I feel like this highlighter, it's not a good one. Typically when you use highlight, you can see that beam, and with this, it's like almost like a pink. You can kind of barely see it, and it's like there's not enough shimmer in it to really make it like a nice highlighter. I don't know. I'm not happy with this. Typically the highlighter that I really like to use is the one from, what is it? Rosé from Anastasia Beverly Hills. And then I also like the Hourglass highlighters. I just feel like this one, you're not getting that pop. Should have done this first. What am I thinking? We're gonna do the eyeliners. I do like that it came with eyeliners. I feel like eyeliner is really underlooked and underrated when people do collabs. They always bring out a palette or highlighter or lipsticks, but nobody ever does mascara and eyeliners. So I was really excited about that. I was also very excited that she did a brown, because I prefer brown in my lower waterline. I think black is too dark for my skin tone, and it makes my makeup look really harsh and much more dramatic than it needs to be. So so tiny. I got a little bit under my eye because it's such a teensy tiny applicator stick thing. I also typically don't use crayon eyeliners on my upper lash line. And that's because I do have those crepey eyelids that I don't actually like to drag it, and that's basically what ends up happening. And so I usually use like a gel liner or a liquid liner or a marker liner, just because, like felt tip marker liner, just because it's easier to apply. But this does go on, I will say this does like go on smooth in the sense of barely touching it, you're going to get pigment. But it's just harder for people who have crepey eyes. Okay, so now we're going to play with the lipsticks. And the first one we're using, I have to say packaging wise, like super cute, but also tiny bit wasteful, because you obviously get like this nice big package containing these two teeny tiny things. But, you know, it's super cute. It looks like a milk jug. So I can see, oh, itchy nose. I can see why they did it, but I just felt like tiny bit wasteful. We're going to go with, oops, Little One for our lip color. I've used ColourPop lip colors for ages. I really like their, they have like their lippy kits. Are these, oh, they're, wait, I'm confused. Does this pencil twist? What's going on? How do you get the product out? Do not tell me that that's like it, because this tube is plastic. Is that all that comes with it? Like, are you kidding me? Am I supposed to peel the I'm so confused. Okay, we're just gonna go in and try it. The plastic bevel on here, you can't see that. Oh, I don't know if you guys can see that, but the beveling around this is very thick. So like what I just did caused the liner to come down slightly lower than I would have normally done on the corners of my lips, because I was going like this, and the beveling pushes away from your skin. Right now, so for the liquid lipstick, it's very, like a lot of product came off. One thing I will say about ColourPop liquid lipsticks, they are not dry. They're, in my opinion, one of the better liquid lipsticks on the market, in the sense that they don't make your lips feel like paper rubbing against each other. They're not dry, but they're not like, how do I describe it? It's not like the lip gloss where it's like sticky or anything like that. It dries completely matte and they wear beautifully, so I've always really liked those. Now, having tried this range, I have to say the eyeshadow palette I feel like needed some more work. The pressing of the shadows was not right, in my opinion. I feel like the shimmers, especially this one, Sunday Funday, literally falls apart when you put your brush into it, and even your finger. And you saw that in the swatches that I inserted into this video. So I feel like they could have used some more time on that. And also the actual color range, it just doesn't work for me. So typically with a palette, it's like, this is a story, this is a story, this is a story. And what that means, a story, is that those shadows, when used in combination, create specific looks. And I just feel like this was kind of one of those where she was like, oh, I like this color, I like this color, and I really like blue, so let's put a blue in. Not really thinking about the actual use of the palette and everyday application, because if she had here with the blue, we would have a black for smoking it out. And also I feel like we would have had a lighter like beige color. So I just feel like the palette needed extra time. The highlighter I'm not happy with. I mean, it has like that iridescent under look, but you see that a lot in like cheaper highlighters. We are in the makeup community way beyond this, and you don't have to spend a ton of money to make a good highlighter, and we've seen that with so many other brands. So it kind of confuses me, the reasoning behind this. I absolutely hate the liquid the liquid eyeshadows. I feel like once you touch them to your eyes, that's where they're going to stay, and they're not going to budge from that. So wherever you put it, you better be happy, because that's exactly where it's going to stay. Of course, I didn't get to try the blush, so I can't speak on that. But I think that says that maybe ColourPop was overwhelmed with this, because of the fact that there was so much confusion with this order that I did. And actually, I intentionally did not order on day 1. I ordered on day 3 of its release. So I feel like there should have been a bit more, like, at that point, because there had already been so many orders, they should have had all the kinks worked out, and they didn't. All in all, I like the lipsticks. I think the color palette needed work, and I don't like the highlighter, and I hate the liquid lipsticks. So that is my impression of the Zoella ColourPop collab. If you guys have tried it, I would love to know your thoughts on it. I'm still giving away one of these PR kits, so definitely, I mean, I feel bad that I'm giving one away, but I hate the product. But I didn't know what I was going to think of it. And like I said, everybody's opinion is different. But I just feel like this was it almost feels like it was rushed. And I feel like they could have done so much better if they would have taken an extra like 2 or 3 weeks before launch to just really tighten up their ship and make sure the eyeshadows were pressed properly. So, and I don't know, was it rushed because she lives in a different country and sending samples back and forth was an issue? Like, because she doesn't give us those behind the scenes, we don't know. So, all in all, that's my review. If you guys want to enter to win this giveaway, click the giveaway link down below. It'll take you to a sheet that you just fill out, and it'll tell you, like, ask you for like subscribe to my channel, and if you do the extra stuff, you get extra entries. And this will be announced on April 1st, and it comes just like this. Everything's in there. I've already checked to make sure all of your colors are correct. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Give it a thumbs up if you did, and I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye.